Hello everyone, welcome to the stream. I think it's starting right now. So, on with the music and see what's going on. Oh. Uh-oh. Do I have double audio somewhere? Maybe. We have. Found it.
One day, Pyra just
Can you hear me?
disappeared. I couldn't find her anywhere. It was as if she vanished off the face of all rest. Without a trace. Where have you gone? I'll find you, whatever it takes. This is where you were. Pyra!
Sorry, Rex. I couldn't tell you. Because... I got an invitation to join Smash!
Okay.
What? I thought I was gonna be in Smash.
Just sit back and leave it to me, Rex. Behold the power of the Aegis! Smash Flare!
You powered up your Smash attack with fire?
Flame Nova! Prominence Revolt!
Smash Brothers.
Blazing End!
That's genius! You're pretty much owning them, and these are seasoned fighters!
There are no pushovers! Ah!
Talk about a tight spot.
Mithra?
Let me handle this.
Mithra!
Cutting it close, huh? Hey, were these guys planning on winning? Gee, I feel kind of bad now. Coming through!
Lightning Buster! Photon Ray of Punishment! Chromata! Foresight!
What? You can even use that?
Hey, right here!
So you two can swap between each other freely?
With serious firepower and blinding speed. Together, nothing can stand in our way!
Quite the spectacle, aren't they?
Wait, Gramps?
I've missed this little buddy. Mind if I watch a while? Oh, look, our friends are here. And there's some more.
You're all mine!
I'll lend you a hand.
Sacred Arrow! Burning
Sword! Nailed it!
Sure did! Witness our power!
That is from Xenoblade.
I never expected to see you two again. But well, now that you're in Smash, I won't go easy on you!
Ooh, fighting words. You forget. We're fighters too!
Okay, Japan. I hope it's not too loud. I made it a bit louder. I have no idea. Yeah, it's from Xenoblade. That's also Nintendo game.
皆さん
Hello, everyone. It's been a while.
電動ダイレクトの
I'm Shinya Takahashi from Nintendo. Last year, we delivered some news through a series of Nintendo Direct mini presentations. However, we haven't been able to present a Nintendo Direct in this style for some time. I'm happy to share this Nintendo Direct with you all today. We appreciate your continued support.
Yeah, no problem, man.
Okay. What
That
you
was
just
fast.
saw was the reveal trailer for the newest fighter in the Super Smash Bros. Ultimate game, Pyra and Mythra. They originally appeared in the Xenoblade Chronicles series as Rex's 2-in-1 ally. Please look forward to seeing their moveset in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. This fighter releases in March, so we hope you'll stay tuned just a bit longer. All right, let's continue with our first batch of Nintendo Switch headlines.
That's Fall Guys. Maybe they're coming to Smash Bros. Too. That'd be funny. But it looked really awesome. Okay. Yeah, it has to do. I don't have codec priority because I'm not a partner on Twitch, so. Fall Guys only through Twitch. It's not a big surprise in my opinion. But yeah, because I'm not a partner, I don't have priority, so the stream is not. You don't have an option available to
when Fall Guys Ultimate Knockout comes to the Nintendo Switch system, summer 2021.
watch it on a lower resolution. So we have to watch it at 1080p, and if your internet connection is not good enough,
You
it
have
will
22
start.
minutes before the solar system
What?
is destroyed.
What? Outer
Venture
Wilds.
into
Oh
the
yeah,
vast
that's a
reaches
really
of
cool
space
game.
to uncover the secrets
That's a really
left
cool game.
behind by an
It's already on
ancient
PC.
civilization. You have
Okay, maybe
22
a little bit
minutes.
less, so can-
After that, the sun will explode and the solar system will be annihilated.
Column for Smash.
However, everything will reset, allowing you to continue exploring while retaining information you gathered.
That's a pretty neat game.
By repeating these cycles, you'll gradually unravel the mysteries hidden in the universe. What messages will you discover? How can you prevent the sun from exploding? Why is the solar system trapped in an endless time loop? Find out when the critically acclaimed Outer Wilds launches on Nintendo Switch, summer 2021.
Too silent.
Put your sleuthing skills to the test in 2 classic murder mystery games. Famicom Detective Club, The Missing Heir, and Famicom Detective Club, The Girl Who Stands Behind. 2 deep cuts from Nintendo history are coming to North America for the first time.
Okay.
Localized in English and modernized for the Nintendo Switch system. Suspense, drama, and twists and turns await at every corner. You'll be on the edge of your seat as you dive into these deep narratives set in Japan. In one game, you'll solve a complex murder case surrounding a wealthy family in a haunted village while dealing with amnesia. But that's not the only case to crack.
A lot of Japanese stuff. I'm really curious what the big
In the
announcement
other
will be.
game, you'll investigate a supernatural rumor
Welcome,
after a
everyone.
mysterious death to free students from a sinister nightmare. Interrogate
Yeah,
suspects
Alex.
and hunt for clues to piece together these
RBKT.
chilling conundrums. Can you figure out who the culprit is before it's too late?
助けてここから出して自分の目の前に血染めの少女が立っている
Uncover the deadly truth in Famicom Detective Club, The Missing Heir, and Famicom Detective Club, The Girl Who Stands Behind. Coming to Nintendo Switch May 14th. Pre-orders begin today on Nintendo eShop. A new age of battles begins.
Okay. That means what? Could this be? Nobunaga Oda. Mitsuhide Ichi. Samurai Warriors 5. That sounds like a classic.
The latest entry in the Samurai Warriors franchise is coming to Nintendo Switch. Dive into the history of the Sengoku period as the series now shines the spotlight on Nobunaga Oda and Mitsuhide Akechi. Character designs and visuals have been revamped for this installment. Unleash high-octane moves in electrifying 1 versus 1,000 battles.
Okay, it's one of those
Samurai Warriors 5, slashing its way onto Nintendo
Dynasty
Switch
Warrior,
summer 2021.
like, games.
The vast world of Fadiel beckons.
Never heard of that.
After 20 long years, Legend of Mana featuring remastered HD graphics is coming to Nintendo Switch.
Legend of Mana.
You'll set off on a journey to find the mystical mana tree seen in a dream. Before discovering the world map is empty. During your travels, you'll acquire special items
It's
called
not Dynasty Warriors,
artifacts.
but it's similar to this
Place them on the
series.
map to bring towns, dungeons,
You
and
play one
other
dude,
lands to life.
fight thousands.
It's up to you on when and where to place artifacts, as well as how to advance the story. Join forces with characters, each on their own personal quests. Square off against fearsome monsters. Or take a break from adventure and rest up at home. The music has been rearranged for this enhanced version, and you can alternate between the new arrangement and the original soundtrack. Other features have been added, including the ability to turn off enemy encounters, as well as the new minigame Ring Ring Land. Legend of Mana will launch on Nintendo Switch June 24th.
Okay. Desert Shark. Monster Hunter? Yeah, it's Monster Hunter. It was already announced. Spider warning. There's a scorpion. Is it? Maybe not. This is getting serious.
Elder, I have important news.
So it's finally beginning.
Go assemble the villagers. 50 years ago, Kamura village was attacked by the Rampage and Magnum Malo. And we suffered some devastating casualties.
How can we fight against that?
Our hunter's about to face the biggest challenge yet! No! We can't lose this gate! Pull yourselves together!
You're not getting in!
Let's go, everyone!
Go rampage somewhere else!
You listen to me now!
Okay, that's cool.
Here it comes! Watch out for the apex! Do not let it pass!
Yeah, that is Monster Hunter Rise. It was already announced.
The rampage. How long do you think it's going to last?
So nothing new so far. I don't know.
Noah, we should start preparations right away. We're here to offer assistance. We must stop the Calamity!
Wow. Yeah, but that is Monster Hunter. Kind of cool. A lot of fans will probably be quite hyped about it.
That was the latest trailer for Monster Hunter Rise from Capcom. How will our heroes fare against these ferocious monsters? Stay tuned for the latest installment in the Monster Hunter series, launching March 26th. Next, please take a look at this.
fairway is open once again. Tee off in the
way.
latest
Mario
installment of
Golf.
the Mario Golf series, coming to Nintendo Switch. Study the wind and terrain. Take your time to think things through. Then swing. Enjoy golfing with familiar Mushroom Kingdom characters on courses filled with lush, natural scenery. Use features on the greens, like a shot gauge,
I just watched
to see
another
how your
streamer.
shot will curve due
He
to
said,
slopes.
yeah, new Mario Golf would
And
be
a
totally
scan
awesome.
that lets
Here
you
it is.
examine a course's terrain. These features can help you ace your shots. In addition to button controls, you can also use motion controls by holding a Joy-Con controller like a golf club. Gently swing the controller to have your character swing in the game, letting you easily enjoy the sensation of golfing. On top of all that, there are several modes with new elements that truly bring the heat to Mario Golf, including this one, Speed Golf. Here, it's always your turn. Everyone tees off at the same time, then you'll race through the course to reach your ball. Give it another whack to get it closer to the hole, then keep going. Outpace your opponents to come out on top. Your golfing skills aren't the only things at play. Make use of dashes and special shots to beat the
I know a lot of people
competition.
who really
Oh,
like the idea of the
Did we
new Mario
mention
Golf game.
story mode? As a Mii character, you'll start out as
Even
a
though
rookie and
some people
develop
it might
your golfing
seem silly
skills
or
while
not
interacting
interesting,
with
but I know
various
some people
Mushroom
will be
Kingdom
very excited now.
characters. Level up with experience points earned during matches. Then, allocate points to different stats, allowing you to develop your character however you'd like. You can also use your Mii in versus play. Put your golfing skills to the test when Mario Golf Super Rush swings onto Nintendo Switch June 25th. Pre-orders begin on Nintendo eShop after this presentation.
Okay. Nice.
The latest game in the Mario Golf series adds new gameplay for multiplayer modes, as well as the familiar golf gameplay with easy-to-learn controls. Please look forward to this game on Nintendo Switch. Let's move on to more Nintendo Switch headlines.
Wow.
Check out these games coming to Nintendo Switch. Return to the unforgiving world of Pandora in Tales from the Borderlands. Play as the Hyperion lackey Reese and the quick-witted con artist Fiona as you set out to recover a mountain of cash.
This is
Set
really
between Borderlands 2 and 3, this game includes all 5 episodes, filled with classic
Okay, it is.
Borderlands humor. Gangsters, bandit lords, and vault hunters are just a handful of the obstacles you'll encounter in this choice-driven narrative adventure. Embark on a wild ride when Tales from the Borderlands launches on Nintendo Switch, March 24th.
I think he got pretty decent
32
reviews.
of Capcom's most
Tales of
beloved
Borderlands game.
arcade classics are coming to
That's kind
Nintendo
of
Switch.
good for
Rewind
some people,
gameplay,
I
adjust
guess.
game speed or difficulty, and select from a variety of
played it,
display
though.
options to relive that sweet arcade
After
goodness.
Borderlands 2, my
Hit 1943 at the
excitement
Battle
for
of Midway
Borderlands
for
is
free.
gone.
Then purchase game packs or the
that's-
standalone Ghosts and
even though
Goblins
it's a good
add-on
game and
to
liked
build
it.
your collection. Local co-op play is also available. Scratch that nostalgic itch when Capcom Arcade
I'm
Stadium
like,
launches
I know,
later today.
full. I just played it too much. I can't play it anymore.
Brains. As a zombie, you just can't get enough of them. In this action game from Aspyr, you'll build your zombie horde and take revenge on the city by turning humans into your undead allies. Replenish your bodily arsenal of sputum head, gut grenades, and more during your grisly mission. This city ain't no match for a dead man. Stubbs the Zombie in Rebel Without a Pulse eats its way onto Nintendo Switch March 16th. Pre-orders begin today on Nintendo eShop.
Oh, nice.
It's
Gerdan is
Travis
here.
Touchdown
Welcome.
versus Assassins. Wait, aliens?
You missed Mario Golf, I think.
Aliens have invaded Earth. Hold up, is this even the right game? Anyway, after annihilating an entire city, the aliens have taken over and now host an intergalactic superhero ranking tournament to decide Earth's
is-
fate.
Here we go.
As the crass beam
no
katana-wielding
more
assassin
heroes
Travis
thing?
Touchdown, you'll need to fight your way to the top to save the world.
Also, always a weird game, but
Hey, not so fast. To enter each boss fight, you'll have to do some odd jobs around town and earn enough to pay off the entry fee. You'll then face off
It's a
against a
weird
slew
game.
of unusual opponents. Most of them aliens.
was a way
crazy
playing
tricks up their
Valheim.
sleeves.
You too.
study their tactics carefully to gain the upper
My
hand
friend
in
also
combat.
asked me to get it and play it
With a
with
new
him.
and improved Death Glove, you'll have access to a variety of deadly skills that can be customized and upgraded before each match. The fate of the world is at stake, so get ready to kick some, whatever aliens have that you can kick. Anyway, it'll all make sense when No More Heroes 3
Akira
lands
reference.
on Earth. Or, you know, Nintendo
Yeah, No More
Switch,
Heroes
August
3.
27th.
It was already announced, I think. Looks kind of
Exterminate demons in
interesting.
heaven.
As above, so below.
Neon white.
Why do they need assassins in heaven? To do someone's dirty work.
Okay, it was kind of cool, I have to admit. Movement options, I like.
It's kill or be killed. You won't last long if you can't rely on yourself. God's judgment has nothing to do with it.
Get a good flow. Runs well. But it has to be seen.
Uncover Heaven's Mysteries in Neon White, coming to Nintendo Switch,
Yeah, does that
winter
convince me,
2021.
Wilhelm? I'm not sound fully convinced if I'm honest.
The DC
Whichever
superhero
the game
girls
for
are
me.
here to save the day.
Hi, everyone. My name's
Hi.
Barbara Gordon, aka Batgirl. I'm always inventing new gadgets to fight crime, like my batarangs and Bathook. This is Supergirl. She's super strong and has heat vision, plus super breath. And let's not forget Wonder Woman, an Amazonian warrior who wields the lasso of truth. Along with our friends Green Lantern, Bumblebee, and Zatanna, we fight evil supervillains to keep our city safe. But we're not just about the super life. We also have our school lives, and trust me, there's never a
course.
dull moment at Metropolis High School. Sometimes it'd be nice to get out of class and do some shopping downtown with my besties. Ooh, and maybe take some photos to share on Superstar Post while we're at it. Hey, I got a comment already. Nice. Ooh, and I definitely want to hit up Sweet Justice later. Uh-oh, something really bad is threatening the city. No one could have seen it coming, but when justice calls, you can count on us to answer no matter what. We've just got to make sure no one figures out our secret identities.
DC Superhero Girls Teen Power, heroically sourced onto Nintendo Switch, June 4th.
Superhero stuff.
Ready the juice cannons and prepare for battle.
What's this? Plants vs. Zombies or something like that? No. It is, I think. It is Plants vs. Zombie game for the Switch.
Who will join you in your adventure? Hint, anyone can. Band together on a quest to face evil and save faces. Miitopia is coming to Nintendo Switch. Cast Mii characters in various roles across the kingdom. Turn your favorite people into your allies, or even make someone the nefarious Dark Lord. Makeup has been added as a new feature in this game. Glam up your Miis and get them ready for adventure. There's also a new wig feature, letting you go wild with your Mii creations and make them even more fabulous. In the world of Miitopia, relationships are key. So consider spending some quality time with allies to strengthen bonds. This can give you an advantage during battle. If your relationship's
Did you
sour,
hear the news that
things
the
might take a turn
Breath
for
of
the
the Wild
worse.
game uses pretty much the same
Whoa! You can
call
have a
it
horse as an ally?
format for characters
That
as a
sounds
Mii,
pretty
so
darn good.
the random or the
Care for
generated
it, and
characters
it'll lend a
for
hand,
Breath of
or
the Wild are basically
in
Mii's.
battle.
It's kind of funny.
Venture with friends and familiar faces in the lighthearted romp Miitopia, Coming to
they
Nintendo
look
Switch
totally different.
May 21st. Pre-orders begin today on Nintendo eShop.
Really is cool.
Super Mario themed items are coming to your island.
Okay.
Super Mario
Animal
Bros.
Crossing, big
35th
news for a lot of
anniversary
people.
themed items are coming to the Animal Crossing New Horizons game. Familiar items like the Super Mushroom and the Question Block can be ordered in-game as furniture items. So place them however and wherever you'd like. You can also place 2 warp pipes. Then use them to travel between locations on your island. Hey, why not try recreating the Mushroom Kingdom? A free update for the game launches February 25th. After downloading it, Super Mario Bros. Items will be available via Nook Shopping starting March 1st. Keep an eye on the official Animal Crossing Twitter account for the latest information.
Good old Nintendo.
We hope you continue enjoying life on your island.
That game has sold copies, you have no idea.
How was that? These collaboration items will be released as part of the Super Mario Bros. 35th anniversary events. Please wait a bit longer for their release. Speaking of which, last week, we had the global launch for the Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury game. We hope you enjoyed that Mario adventure as well. Next, we have another game to show you.
What is that?
He leaves us no recourse. Swords! Never.
Oh.
S-Frost will answer for its crimes today.
Are these the wages of
Is
loyalty?
this Octopus Traveler thing?
Raised earth and burnt corpses.
You and no other must decide how we proceed.
I haven't played Octopus Traveler yet.
You're a
so-
leader, and must be the beacon others look to when the night is
I
darkest.
don't recognize the art style.
Today you burn.
I promise to do all in my power to see us through this safely, every last one of us.
Triangle.
Far, far away lies the continent of Norzilia, comprised of 3 nations
Yeah, it's a really
and
cool art
limited
style.
deposits of salt and iron. The constant feuds among the nations over these precious resources
primarily made out of
eventually
salt, but
ignited
less of
into
iron,
a
I
great
guess.
conflict
But I can
known
identify
as
with
the
it.
Salt-Iron War. Though the hostilities ceased with an uneasy truce, decades later the flames of war threatened to engulf the realm once again.
You are all that remains.
Caught in a tangled, fiery web of plots and conspiracies, a brave group from Glenbrook fights to save their kingdom from the powers that would orchestrate their downfall.
Our benefit, you say?
In this new tactical RPG, battles take place on terrain with different elevations. A character's attack range is determined by their location and their equipped weapon. The range can be extended by attacking from higher ground with long-range weapons, such as bows and arrows. Thus, your forces can use the terrain and other elements to gain the upper hand. An enemy outflanked is susceptible not only to your initial attack, but also a powerful blow from the ally positioned behind the enemy.
What have we here?
Charge into an enemy to send them flying into position for a follow-up attack. We win. Link attacks together by first casting ice magic on the flames to create water terrain. Then electrify the area with lightning magic. It is of the utmost importance
It's a
to
bit like,
survey the
Divinity
battlefield
Original Sin.
before taking action. Throughout the story, you will be faced with making important decisions in a variety of situations. Utility, morality, liberty. Collectively, your decisions will establish your conviction, affecting how the story unfolds and who will join your cause.
Once more, I would ask you plainly. Do we or don't we relinquish Prince Roland to Esdrost?
Critical decisions that may determine the fates of nations are settled by vote on the scales of conviction. Use information you've gathered to sway allies toward your favorite
It shows
cause.
everything that is about this game. It's kind of cool, I
The
guess.
story will significantly change based on how the votes are cast.
So they refused to relinquish him to us.
Lies! His hand was forced.
As more and more critical decisions are made, your journey may take you down paths divergent from those of other players.
You will see what true might is.
Project Triangle Strategy, a brand new tactical RPG from Square Enix, will launch in 2022.
So this
Please
is,
be
I
on the
assume,
lookout
connected
for
to
more
Octopath
information
Traveler.
in the future.
It had a similar style
After
as
this
by Square Enix.
presentation, a demo version of this game will be available to download
Shadow
on
Drop.
Nintendo eShop. And in the future, we'll conduct a survey to gather player feedback. We look forward to hearing your responses on the demo.
Please look forward to future updates on this brand
Octopath
new
Traveler was also
tactical
received quite well.
RPG from Square Enix.
I think it
Okay,
had,
let's
like
see
8
a few
stories,
more Nintendo Switch
and some said it was a
headlines.
bit much and it lost a bit of focus to it.
Calling all hunters.
Because the
Do you
stories were
have what it
connected to
takes?
each other, but maybe they improve here, and then it could be a really, really good game. Star. Lucasfilm.
Star Wars Hunters is a competitive, free-to-play online game set between episodes 6 and 7. Clash in this third-person shooter coming to Nintendo Switch in 2021.
Switch that person.
Alright, let's do this.
Wait.
Do
there's
I
a
look
Warcraft
at you or the
dude.
camera?
Knockout City interviews, take 1.
We all play for different reasons.
Was that a Warcraft dude?
Gorgon loved battle. Gorgon used many weapons. Triple-bladed war axe, spear of misery, Hades' soul-devouring crossbow.
A princess is supposed to lead her people, not be stuck up in some tower waiting for a hero.
In my line of work, bullets are constantly whizzing past you.
Looks like from
Flaming
Counter-Strike.
longsword, blade of doom.
Just once.
What
Just
exactly is
once
going
I'd
on
like
here?
to catch one of them
Chat,
bullets. You know,
explain.
with my hands.
With this crown, I'm gonna lead my team to victory and kick some serious ass!
Look, it's simple.
Gorgon want new weapon.
In Knockout City, I'm like a kung fu master. I can catch bullets. Woo! Come get some!
What on earth is this?
Got you.
It confuses me greatly.
Hey, Lieutenant, pass to me!
Roger that, princess. Here.
Let's find out what sound your face makes!
Yeah, exactly. But why is it question mark, question mark, question mark?
Be the ball. Be the ball. Catch me.
Roger that. Heads up, Your Highness.
Eat this!
Be the ball.
Lost it! Can't believe we're losing to a bunch of dairy farmers! Okay, team. They may have won the battle, but not the war.
Hey, can we redesign our characters? You're not a team if you're not wearing a uniform.
Max, this is a war zone, not a bloody fashion show!
Pass to me.
What? Interview's over?
Yeah.
Oh, come on, man. One more game.
Of the EA originals. So, part of this program.
The fight for survival starts now.
Hang on tight. 'cause you're all going to play a little game of fate for me.
From the creators of the Danganronpa and Zero Escape series comes a fight for your life, literally. Disoriented and trapped in an underwater theme park, the 12 of you, known as the Go-Getters Club, must now survive this game of fate at all costs.
I don't want to die yet! Sorry to scare you all, but the game is canceled!
The game is suddenly called off. You escape the theme park and get a glimpse of Japan, but everyone's vanished. Set off on a captivating journey across the country that blends side-scrolling action with suspenseful narrative.
Be the one behind the whole game of fate!
As you make your way back home to Tokyo, you'll alternate between working solo and teaming up with the group to overcome challenges and monsters that stand in your way. What awaits you all at the end of your journey? The battle for survival begins in World's End Club, venturing onto Nintendo Switch, May 28th. Wield the powers of Olympus with the physical release of Hades.
We already played that.
Hades, the critically acclaimed dungeon crawler and recipient of multiple Game of the Year awards, is getting a physical release on Nintendo Switch. This version comes with a couple of extras to assist you on your journey out of the underworld. The first is a PC download code for the Hades original soundtrack. It's packed with 2.5 hours of blood-pumping music composed by Darren Korb, known for his work on previous Supergiant titles like Transistor and Bastion.
That's cool.
The second is a 32-page full-color character compendium featuring portraits of the game's vibrant cast of gods, ghosts, and monsters, all by Supergiant's art director, Gen Z.
Not surprised, I guess.
And let's not forget the game itself, offering dozens of hours of exhilarating action paired with a compelling story. Escape the underworld again, or for the first time, with the physical version of Hades on March 19th. 3 deadly action games, 1 masterful collection.
What? Ninja Gaiden?
Ninja Gaiden Sigma, Ninja Gaiden Sigma 2, and Ninja Gaiden 3 Razor's Edge are coming to Nintendo Switch as the action-packed Ninja Gaiden Master Collection.
Okay. Did not see this coming. Just the physical.
You are the legendary ninja Ryu Hayabusa, fighting against a great evil with battle skills that are second to none. Wield an arsenal of killer weapons, each offering a playstyle with a different set of lethal skills, along with ruthless ninjutsu to swiftly take down enemies. Quickly gauge your opponent's movements while unleashing fast and frenzied combos.
Imagine this game in 8-bit.
Team up with other super ninjas in your quest to fulfill your destiny.
Ninja Gaiden. I played
all previous downloadable content,
yesterday,
including costumes and game modes,
so
are
much
included.
Ninja Gaiden.
Really revel in the intensity of Ninja Gaiden in one dynamic collection. Ninja Gaiden Master Collection slices its way onto Nintendo Switch.
I guess the 3D games are also difficult, but the original game, really hard.
More battles are coming to Hyrule Warriors: Age of Calamity.
More stuff, all that. I think that also sold relatively well. So, might be interesting for some
There's
people.
even more coming to Nintendo Switch. Bravely Default 2 is almost here. 4 Heroes of Light will soon embark on a journey to restore the crystals. Use the job system to develop your characters and master the Brave and Default commands to emerge victorious in turn-based battles.
I live to fight.
Veterans and newcomers to the series can enjoy this brand new story on February 26th. A new trailer for Bravely Default 2 will be revealed following this presentation. The game can be pre-ordered on Nintendo eShop. An updated demo is also available. The latest installment in the legendary Ghosts and Goblins series comes to life. As the brave knight Arthur, you'll unleash weapons, spells, and skills to battle monsters across challenging stages within the Demon Realm. Local co-op play is also available for the first time. Help Arthur in his quest with one of 3 supporting characters: Barry for defense, Carry for transportation, or Archie for bridges. Ghosts and Goblins Resurrection launches February 25th. Pre-orders are available now on Nintendo eShop.
Really tough game.
8 protagonists, 8 captivating
That is the
journeys.
original.
Saga Frontier has been remastered for Nintendo Switch. Travel through a stunning sci-fi world with any of the protagonists, each with their own stories. With the addition of the playable protagonist Fuse, new gameplay features, exhilarating battles, and a new scenario for the protagonist Acellus, Saga Frontier Remastered is an adventure not to be missed. The game launches April 15th. Apex Legends is storming onto the Nintendo Switch system. This free-to-play battle royale features a growing roster of powerful contenders named Legends, strategic combat, cross-platform play,
Apex
and more.
Legend
All
for
players
Switch.
on Nintendo Switch can
Wow.
get an all-new legendary
How is
Pathfinder
this
skin
even physically possible?
and 30 free levels for the Season 8 Mayhem
you
Battle
see,
Pass.
it looks a bit muddy.
Plus, for the first
It's
2
so
weeks after
impressive that it
launch,
runs, I
earn
guess.
double XP when you play on Nintendo Switch. Fight for fortune, fame, and glory when Apex Legends enters the fray March 9th.
How's it going so far? There's still a little bit more to show you in today's Nintendo Direct, so we hope you'll stick with us. Next, please take a look at this.
Okay, maybe now comes the big one.
Hello there, I'm Eiji Aonuma, producer of the Legend of Zelda series. I'm sure a lot of you saw me and thought there might be news about the sequel to the Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild game.
Yes.
Unfortunately, we don't have anything to share right now.
Aw.
We apologize. Development is proceeding smoothly, and we should be able to bring you some new information this year. For now, we'll have to ask you to wait just a bit longer. While you're all waiting, however, this Legend of Zelda game will be coming to Nintendo Switch. Please take a look.
Okay. I'm not too familiar with later Zelda games. Oh. Is it Skyward Sword? Not sure which one it is. And 2 Zeldas from the later, I think the Wii area, right? Yes, I guessed right. It's Skyward Sword. Whew. Well, surprise.
What you've just seen is The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword HD. This game originally released in 2011 on the Wii console, and now it's coming to Nintendo Switch. The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword featured a control scheme in which players would use the Wii Remote Plus controller as a sword and the Nunchuck controller as a shield. With the increased processing power of the Nintendo Switch system, the controls here are smoother and even more intuitive. And we've recreated the controls for the sword and the shield here by having the player hold 2 Joy-Con controllers. The Joy-Con controller in your right hand is the sword. Swing it to have Link swing his sword in the game. The Joy-Con controller in your left hand is the shield. By lifting the controller, you can raise the shield to block enemy attacks. You can perform other actions like using both controllers to wield a bow and arrow. These physical
can you
movements
play
add
it
a sense
like
of
a normal
urgency and
player?
tension to combat.
Not swinging your
But
controller
we've
around.
also made it possible to play the game with button controls to ensure
Yes.
it can be played in handheld mode or on the Nintendo Switch Lite system. After mulling over how to assign different gameplay elements to different buttons, we decided to apply the sword motions to tilting the right control stick.
Okay.
Tilt the stick down when you want to swing the sword downward. To swing to the right, to the left, or diagonally, just tilt the stick in the respective direction. Here's something else we've been working on. Specially designed Joy-Con controllers. The right Joy-Con controller is themed after the Master Sword, while the left features a Hylian shield motif. The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword, as the game depicting the earliest story in the Legend of Zelda timeline, details the events around the creation of the Master Sword itself. We hope that people who played the original game on Wii
it's still
and those
strange.
playing
How
it for
do
the
you-
first
how do you
time
control
will
the
enjoy
camera then?
discovering the origins of The Legend of Zelda.
When you have to use the right stick to
The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword
It's
HD
kind of weird, I
launches
guess.
July 16th. Following this Nintendo Direct, you'll be able to pre-order the game on Nintendo eShop. And the specially designed Joy-Con controllers will launch on the game's release day at your local retailers. Many of you may already know this, but The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword was the last original console game prior to The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild game, and it was still following the established conventions of The Legend of Zelda. However, it gave a glimpse into many features and innovations that would eventually be adopted in The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Using the sailcloth to descend in midair, a stamina gauge that depleted as you scaled walls with vines or ran, even the concept of collecting items to upgrade gear. I hope those of you who've played The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild will give this game a try as well.
Yeah, left is for movement, of course, but for a 3D game, sometimes being able to control the camera is also.
Please look forward to The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword HD.
Especially with stuff like
Well,
platforming and
what
so
did you
on.
think? The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword has been optimized for Nintendo Switch. It includes intuitive motion controls and button
We just cut
controls
his
by
shield
tilting
in
the right control stick.
a
Okay,
few parts.
the next game will be our last announcement for today. Please take a look at this.
I think sometimes it's helpful to have camera control, even if not a fixed camera, especially when platforming. What is this? Is this Platoon or something? That is Platoon. Also, no. What do you call it? Stocks and stream. The stream is just the cycle of loading for me, but chat still works. I'll leave it on, but I'm going to get something to eat. Okay. I'm confused. Is this a Ghost in the Shell reference? I think Ghost in the Shell too. The music not, but the airplane. Not sure if the camera turns around like it. I don't think so. Maybe too far-fetched. The Splatoon new season update. Splatoon 2 is it Splatoon 3? Fingers crossed, definitely. To get better into this game. It is Splatoon 3, right? Okay, it comes next year.
What you've just seen is the latest installment in the Splatoon series, Splatoon 3.
Yeah, it says Splatoon 3.
This game is
I was
scheduled to launch in
typing, so
2022, so it'll be a while.
Could be also Splatoon 8 though.
We hope you'll stay tuned for more information at a later time.
Ah, there are eyes on the arrow.
Today, we showed you a sampling of games coming to Nintendo Switch. a variety of games are in development. And we look forward to sharing more news with you in the future. That's all for today's Nintendo Direct. Thank you for watching.
Okay, I think people expected a little bit more at the end. Not another Splatoon. So that was the Nintendo Direct thing. Very interesting, I guess. So finally we have some quality time to talk about what we just saw. So we have a new Octopath Traveler. That is great. We have Splatoon 3. That is great. But I don't know too much about it. We have a new Mario Golf, and we got a HD Switch version of Skyward Sword. That's probably the most interesting thing for most people. Even though Skyward Sword was on the Wii, and the Wii was a very successful console, so I assume a lot of people played it anyway. Yeah, there was a previous part of it. I'm not sure when that came out, though. Somebody pinged me on Discord. Okay. That's not related thing. Let me... Yeah, what do we say about this? I'm not sure when Octopath Traveler came out. Let's find it out really quick. Octopath Traveler. When came it out? It's probably not older than 2018. Not sure if it had a similar mechanic. But yeah, it's definitely... I only care about the Divinity Diamond knockoff. 2018, yeah, you're right. When the original Sin came out, I don't know. I mean, there were also Divinity games before Divinity Original Sin, it's not like that. But it came 2015 or so, yeah, 2014 even it came out. So I might have drawn some inspiration from that. When it comes to stuff. So was this an interesting Direct? I guess Nintendo fans probably expected a bit more. There's also Xenoblade Chronicles characters for Smash Brothers, or one at least. That might be interesting. A lot of little games coming, getting a port, a physical version for Hades. That's basically it, I guess. So I haven't played any Zelda games. I only want the Switch for Smash Brothers. You play Smash Brothers? Didn't know that you play fighting games. Yeah, of course, Smash Brothers is good, but I'm just surprised that Gilgair plays Smash Brothers. Maybe he's one of the best Smash Brother players in the world, and we don't know. It wasn't so bad in that game, actually. Interesting, didn't know that. Okay, that was thanks for tuning in here thing. What can we do? First of all, I liked the video. Always important when on YouTube. Like the video. I hit the chat. It's also very important if you stream stuff like this. I don't have much to say, sadly. I wouldn't say I'm underwhelmed. A lot of stuff was to be expected. Now they showed the new Splatoon, which might be cool for some people. I think Splatoon was relatively successful too. But I'm not into it, so yeah, I don't know. My hype is is quite limited when it comes to this game in particular. Yeah, that doesn't mean it would have been great if they said, okay, new Mario Brothers, like a new thing like Super Mario Odyssey, like Super Mario whatever it's called, the next game, Odyssey 2, whatever, coming out. That would be huge, and it would also be kid friendly. But Nintendo is not only for kids, it's for people of all ages. Like the Zelda games, like Smash Brothers, like I don't know what. Octopath Traveler definitely looks interesting. I think Octopath Traveler didn't it release on multiple platforms? Quite curious now. Wait, haven't I closed it? No, I haven't. So where did it release? It also released on Windows, so it should be on Steam maybe? I think it's on Steam, but I'm not 100% sure. So if you want, let me check really quick. Octopath, yeah, it's on Steam. It's actually very expensive though. 60 euros on Steam. That's quite a lot for price. I mean, it's just came out 2019. It came out for Steam, so I wouldn't say it's fresh, but yeah, probably people might be. It has a very similar art style to what we have seen in the trailer. For people interested in that, it exists on Steam. You can play it on Stadia too, and you can play it on the Switch if you want. So there are options available. Not sure if, I assume the other game will also release on PC at some time. But I kinda like that nothing big was announced. There doesn't need to be a next big AAA game. There are already many of them. Yeah, I think for Nintendo, it's always good to announce, okay, we are working. I mean, Nintendo has already big things announced, like the new Zelda game. Sleep well, Gilgair. Nice that you were here and stayed a bit. I probably will also end the stream soon, because there's not much to talk about, actually. I might at one point consider maybe playing one of the later Zelda games, which I haven't. Yeah, that's a weird reason why I do this. Sometimes it has to do with which account I'm logged in what browser and so on. So yeah, I tend to use Opera for a very long time. I really like the old Opera versions that had like all kinds of things integrated, like a mail program and whatnot. It was pretty neat. And I just use this browser to just have another thing where I have a different account. I'm logged into YouTube and Twitch and so on. And I usually use Firefox, but sometimes when streaming, Firefox makes trouble when I tab out. And this one doesn't. So there are some nuances and differences, and that helps me greatly streaming stuff like this. So I decided to go with this browser. That's basically the whole story to it. I have also Chrome. I have Firefox, the normal Opera browser, the Opera gaming browser, and Google Chrome installed. I think that are the browsers, and Internet Explorer, but I don't use that. And that is basically I don't know. So if you have, like, I have a YouTube account for my Twitch stream archive. One is my main channel. I have this gaming channel that I don't use. I also have a private account for Twitch and a private YouTube account, and so on and so forth. So sometimes if you don't want to log around all the time, I just manage the vast amount of accounts I have sometimes for the same platform by being logged into different browsers. That's basically all there is to it. This browser here I mainly use for streaming and stuff like that. That's basically the reasoning. But it's kind of fast and it works relatively well. I have very little glitches and other problems when it comes to specific sites and so on. And for example, one thing that in Firefox is actually a problem on Twitch is when you have to that's actually a good thing if we watch the Mars landing tomorrow. We could do this. Do we have a time for this? I plan on streaming tomorrow though, so we could do that too. What did I just wanted to say? Yeah, when I use Firefox for editing highlights or whatever, for my Twitch videos. Usually I create a highlight, so the highlights are not deleted, else my VODs are deleted on Twitch. 17:15 GMT, okay. I'll look into that. So 18:15 my time, yeah, could be. Oh, no, I'm wrong. 19:15, okay, so that would fit. Well, we can maybe look into that. That might be an interesting idea to what we could stream. Also fitting Cyberpunk, I guess. Yeah, there's a little trick when you just affiliate. Twitch only stores your VODs for a week or 2 weeks. I'm not sure the time. If you're partnered, I think it's 3 months or around. No, it's 2 months. It's either 90 days or 60 days. I'm not sure. And then it will be deleted. But if you highlight the whole stream, which you can do, the highlight is never deleted. That's an interesting little trick I use to basically store the stuff on Twitch. And then I upload it on YouTube just to be safe, in case Twitch says, hey dude, we delete all your stuff. I don't know. Probably nobody will watch my streams. Or not too many stuff will be watched on YouTube anyway, but we have it. No, there's no max length for highlights. You can... Maybe there is, but I never reached it. I never streamed long enough for that. Yeah, having an archive is kind of nice. Knowing that you have like streamed hundreds. I think last year I streamed 750 hours on Twitch. And as you know, I'd only stream 2 days a week. So that's relatively... it's quite a lot. And it would be sad if you stream and stream and stream and it's gone forever, basically, if people haven't seen it. I assume nobody will care about those 750 hours I stream, but if somebody would want to watch my Final Fantasy VII playthrough, which was amazing, not the remake, the original one, he could watch it on YouTube or on Twitch or something. Exclamation mark. I probably typed it wrong. No, that's right. Archive, and then you can get it. However, if I do the highlight stuff on Firefox, I often have it that the browser window, the control window crashes. It shows an error message and I have to reload the site and start from the beginning. Not sure if it was the first thing you watched here. The first game I streamed was actually Port Royal 2. That's what I started the test streams with. Well, we can look into it. It's not like I have stuff like this. Maybe not noted. Maybe. When did I start streaming though? I think 2019. Yeah, I think March, April, Final Fantasy. That's 2020. Dark Souls. Oh yeah, I streamed Dark Souls. 6th September 2019 was Dark Souls plus randomizer stuff. I think I did an Aragon challenge in Dark Souls when it came out. I also played through Sekiro in March on Twitch, but I don't have the VODs anymore for whatever reason. I think I didn't I didn't upload them. I think I hadn't the archive channel yet. And they were just deleted by now. I'm not sure what it was. There were multiple games I played. We could just look it up. Jedi Fallen Order, yeah, that we played too. Let me check here my sort by added oldest. Yeah, I played Sea of Thieves a bit. That was the first stream. Then I played this Port Royal 2 stuff. Then we did the Strider challenge in Dark Souls through Caliber. I played in Parallel Always a bit. I think, yeah, short, what is this? 11th official stream. It's a good title. Short arms often miss. Dark Souls. Yeah, and then we played Blasphemous. Maybe, I'm not sure if you have seen Blasphemous. I played through that game too. And then we started, after finishing Blasphemous, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, which was fantastic. My game of the year in 2019, if I remember. Was it? Yeah, it should be 2019, right? Then we played Bloodstained, A Ritual of the Night, also fantastic game. And then we played Final Fantasy VII Remake. They had some Age of Empires sessions in between, it seems. Yeah, Final Fantasy VII took a long time. That's a lot of long VODs. I pumped a lot of time into this game. And of course, always Soul Calibur. And then we started with the Final Fantasy VII Remake, and that was horrible. I hated it. Oh, I'm so happy that I don't have to play Final Fantasy Remake anymore. You have no idea. I hated this game. You have no idea how much hate I had at the end for this game. Maybe you have an idea. Then Dark Souls randomizer again. Yeah, that was my first randomizer run, which also takes some time. It was really difficult. And I think I did a second randomizer one because it was so much fun. So we played Dark Souls 3 times on the stream through. And then we started Neo, which is also a long Let's Play. Oh boy, said a long Let's Play. Neo playthrough. Where's the ending for Neo? Oh boy, that's a lot of streams. Is this the ending? Yeah, I think that's the ending for Neo. And then we started with Resident Evil 2. Oh, that was also so great. I love Resident Evil 2. I want to do a randomizer run for it. Or we play Resident Evil 3 next, because you can play through it in like 6, 7, 8 hours. I don't know how long I will take while talking, streaming, and playing that. Maybe we can play through it in 2 or 3 streams, I plan. So that's relatively fast. And then we have another game completed and can make a check mark on it in case we will ever manage to finish Cyberpunk. That is the big if. Then we started Raft a bit in parallel. Oh, I played so many games. Fantastic. Secret Lab. Oh yeah, that was the end of it. Oh, we played both sides, right? I also played Claire and I played Leon. Good to know. And then we played a ton of Port Royale. We still have the Dutch campaign that we have to complete and the French campaign that we have to complete. So I wanted to jump back into Port Royale too, but right now Cyberpunk just eats up so much time. I also should look at chat because I just looking through the list. Neo was super fun, enjoyed it a lot. Do you know how far through Cyberpunk you are? No, I have no feeling for it at all. I have no idea how far I am. I assume main mission wise, I'm probably half through. Maybe a bit more than half. Side mission wise, I think there will still be a lot of content. We are 34 hours in or so. In my save state says it. I have much more time on Steam on it for all kinds of reasons. That means I heard a friend played through all side missions and all main missions, maybe except for like 1 or 2 side missions in 80 hours or something. So I don't plan to do all the side missions, I think, because even though I'm not sure how this will work. We can work something out. Maybe I just finish the main story of the game. We make it safe before the point of no return. And then we can come back to it later into the side missions if we want. Because I still like the game and the side missions are a lot of fun. Have to think. Maybe... Yeah, another thing I could do is maybe finish my current video I'm working on, finish the Elrond video, and then I just pump in like a week and just stream every day, 8 hours, and just get a lot of progress. So that could work too. I'm not sure, but still there's a lot of work going on in the background. There's still a project I want to do also later this month. I consider streaming on YouTube, make a Lord of the Rings related stream again later this month. That would be intense, yeah. I'm not sure. The game just takes so long. I waste too much time on just driving around and having a lot of fun. Also, I need to shout out followers, right? So Smirnoff49 5 days ago, 15 hours ago. Chemical Coyote followed too. Thank you for that. RB Kitty subscribed with Prime 3 days ago while I was not here. Thank you for that, much appreciated. I already wrote her in chat because she couldn't follow the stream. I had no decoding options. It's chemical. Oh yeah, that again. Thanks for the reminder. I will say it wrong next time again because in my mind it makes no sense why it should be pronounced chemical instead of chemical. But there's some words I will forget about it. That's maybe if I think carefully about it. But you're right, it's chemical. But some words I simply will say wrong for a long time. There are. What is the other word? Not S. Yeah, X. I'm still not sure how it's pronounced right now. Like, is it examine? I think it is, right? That's the second syllable is the stress on or something. Examine. That in my mind it could also be pronounced examine or something. Yeah, you almost said it wrong. I had to really think for a moment, how is this word pronounced? Yeah, English is a very difficult language when it comes to its phonology, so I hope people forgive me my incompetence of saying words right at times. Almost said it wrong, yeah. Chemical. I have to focus on a lot of things while talking too. It's very difficult, I think, to speak fluently. Like, I don't want to say a lot of and make weird breaks all the time. Just speaking a long sentence, keeping a certain flow. That's usually a thing I want to focus on mainly, and that takes a lot of brain capacity. That is usually not available while playing difficult games. Or when I'm not warmed up, especially. When I'm tired, that's also a problem. I also have to focus on the stupid THS thing a lot. That is also... I've heard Finnish is the most consistent... It could be true. Tolkien liked it a lot. Maybe he liked it because... I think he liked it because of the vowel morphing stuff that's going on there. But... maybe also because it was kind of consistent. German is also pretty consistent pronunciation-wise. I think there are maybe a few exceptions, but usually it's pretty easy, I guess. Only thing that is not so easy is grammar in German. Like, you need to know the gender of words. Like, we had this in the past. Like, door is female. And table is male for reasons. And you have to know this for whatever reason. And yeah, I don't think about the gender when I speak German, but I just know it. But it only, yes, but it's my native language, so that helps a lot. And the plurals are also in German all over the place at times. Some plurals are really complicated. So you have to learn, I think if you learn vocabulary for German, you have to learn the word, the plural, and the gender of it. Pretty similar, it's somewhat similar to Latin, where you have to learn the word, you have to learn the genitive form of it, I think, and the gender too. At least for words that are not verbs and so on. But Latin is grammatically also a very, very complicated language. Kind of fascinating. I would say it's more complicated than German, though. I mean, it has a whole case more than German, actually two, but the one doesn't count, the vocative. I guess a vocative also exists in German, but it's like a special case, same as in Latin. Well, let's not talk about grammar too much. You know, when you start talking about Latin grammar in your stream, that's maybe that there's not enough interesting stuff on the Nintendo Direct, I guess. But yeah, probably streaming next time. Tomorrow. That's the plan. I want to stream on YouTube again. Barely know the grammar of English. I guess English grammar is I wouldn't say easy, because there's a lot of weird stuff there too, but I don't know, it's easy to get to understand, I guess. At least on a very basic level, English grammar seems to be very straightforward. You don't have to, you can just put the words you want to say in a certain order, and then it works. You don't have to think about, okay, what case is this word? So the article changes, or the suffix changes, or whatever. That is, yeah, not the case in English usually. Like if you, in the order of the words in English often determines the sense you make. Like if you say the cat eats the fish, you know that the cat eats the fish. But if you switch the fish and the cat, then the fish eats the cat. In German, the sentence would still be the cat eats the fish, even if you turn it around, but don't change the articles. It would sound a bit weird, but the sense would not change. That isn't, I wouldn't say that's necessarily an advantage, though. A lot of people complain that German is unnecessarily complicated. Yeah, it's basically the same. So in English, you express through position of the word what is subject, what is object. Of course, there are some special cases. You could just form the sentence differently, like the fish gets eaten by the cat or something like that. But then you change basically the sentence. And in German it's the same. Usually you put the subject of the sentence at the beginning and the object at the end. In that regard, it's similar, but in theory you can change that too. Even though in some rare cases it could get complicated. But yeah, the one version would be more normal than the other one. Kind of fascinating. It will be kind of interesting. I still need like maybe a topic. I think I do just another what's it called? Q&A in the YouTube stream. I'm not sure when I shall do it. Maybe I do it very soon, so Saturday or something. Or I do it next week somewhere. Maybe Wednesday or so again, I'm not sure. Or the Saturday after next Saturday, so next week, Saturday, whatever. Sunday is a Twitch stream, so I can't do it on Sunday. Something like this. I think I should stream another time this month, because I haven't uploaded many videos, and as Clueless Fangirl had said, hey, it's so easy to make like a live stream, answer some questions, or make a live conversation with somebody, and all of a sudden you have 3 hours of content that people, or some people at least, enjoy, and you just produced it also in like 2 hours without editing and writing and doing research so much. Okay, is that a weekend? Maybe we have to activate Andres. But good to know. But last time it worked relatively well, I guess. Still kind of surprised, except for me not streaming for 50 minutes, even though I thought I would streaming for 50 minutes. But I guess, yeah, it worked kind of well. Also, the being a guest at Clueless Fangirl was also a lot of fun. Enjoyed that a lot. That was kind of cool, I have to admit. Yeah. Yeah, it was pretty cool, and we get sidetracked easily. That will be very difficult in case I have a guest on my channel at some point or something, expect the worst. But as long as the conversation has a good flow and is interesting for people, I think that should not be too much of a problem. If you want to have structure in your conversation, this is the wrong place. Yeah, that was fascinating to me too. I did not expect that you had to moderate anything, and then I also saw this one comment you deleted, rightfully so. I thought, okay, I don't know what is wrong with people. Like, I don't get it. I really don't understand that. Don't know where this urge comes to talk about exactly this topic or to make like a comment. I don't know. I get a lot of weird comments at times. And it gets kind of boring. I think there was like one comment. I'm not sure if it was on the live stream part or on the offline live stream part, where I commented on one of those for quite some time. I think it was on the live stream part. So somebody asked something along those lines, if I fear that the show could be destroyed or damaged by whatever. By I don't know, including, I don't know what the exact question was. You can probably remember or not. Yeah, something like this. I think I gave an answer to some of those questions. I also talked about Clueless Fangirl about stuff like this in our pre-conversation before we started recording quite a lot, which we did in English. Didn't help, I guess, at the beginning, because we just have a conversation in German, then have to switch in English. It's kind of weird if you can have a conversation in German, basically, but you decide to talk English anyway. But still was kind of fun. I'm actually surprised that my English is good enough to do this, actually. At least that's how it feels. So that was that. Really curious when I finally get my videos done. I was a bit lazy today, I have to admit. I wished I would have done more, but it should be, I wouldn't say relatively close to be finished. I say this every week, and then I know it gets just longer and more complicated. Sometimes stuff just takes a lot of time. Always a bit sad about that. Could just rerun the Nintendo thing in the background and mute the sound. That would be smart, so people have something to look at. Just in a little window here without sound. I'm really curious about this stream. If I upload it, if I get claimed. I don't think so, but maybe. But on my archive channel, I don't care too much about it. This stuff is really annoying on your main channel, though. If you upload a video, I think everything is fine and it gets claimed. I think, cool, thanks for that. Oh, in this 3-hour-long video, I have this one snippet that is a tiny bit too long and it gets auto-claimed. Great fun. It was in my in the VOD of my stream too. That was also a bit annoying, I have to admit. In the YouTube stream, I had like a playlist in the background, and here I had this here, autoplay on instead of off. I didn't notice. That's a new feature or whatever. It was activated for whatever reason. I didn't notice, so I had some music going on the background that was basically the soundtrack of War in the North, the game. I had it very, very silently going in the background and just switched to another Lord of the Rings playlist that played music. And that got claimed. Even though it was barely it's very difficult to hear on the stream because I tuned it was more like for me and I don't know, getting in the right mood. Sometimes music in the background helps a bit, but you have to be careful. And of course it got claimed, so I had to cut out like, I don't know, around, let's say 40 seconds or so of the stream. It took on YouTube, cutting stuff out, you have an option to say, yeah, just cut those parts out automatically. And it does it, but it takes forever on YouTube. I don't know why it is. At least the coding options work much better than on Twitch comparison. Yeah, you actually get exact position in the video where stuff is claimed, and they say who claims it and what exactly that is claimed. It was not always like this, I have to admit that, but currently you have a good overview of understanding. Okay, that got claimed. Sometimes it's totally weird though. You say, okay, the song ran for longer than the part that was claimed, but there was like one particular part that was identified, the others not, for whatever reason, I don't know. Don't ask me. So in the VOD version there must be a weird cut at some point where I try to make it somewhat clean so people probably won't notice. Well, there must be two of them, or I don't know. Happens. Next time I'm more careful with that, and it was mainly because this autoplay thing just in the background. I just had a YouTube video with a soundtrack of them going on and thought, that should, because it's a game, usually in-game soundtracks don't get claimed. I'm not allowed to use them, if I'm honest, but sometimes, yeah, I don't know. It's really, really difficult. There's some music that I can use, of course. Like YouTube, for example, has its own free-to-use library with a lot of stuff in it that is sometimes quite nice or usable. I think I used it for the Cyberpunk video. Yeah, for the Cyberpunk video, I made like synthwave stuff from the free YouTube library and put it in the background. I got like 20 songs or something, and you can use them without getting claimed. Work quite well, and it's part of it's not some random YouTube channel that suggests this music or whatever. It's by YouTube. YouTube itself has this like the creator music library or whatever it's called that you can use. There are also other things you can do. Like I could get a license for I don't have the sites right now. You pay like, let's say, up to $40 a month or so, and then you have like a gigantic library of music that you can use in your videos on YouTube and on Twitch and so on. Some people do that, but I know it kind of works without music, I guess. I'm not sure what to do with that. Sadly not good enough to compose my own music to play in the background. That would help massively. But probably even that would get claimed at some point because music is just the worst. It's always music. It's rarely that video material, actual video gets claimed. That only happens like when stuff like this, like E3 or something, and there's a new trailer and I don't know, publisher X and Y for whatever reason put it on its list of videos to be claimed, and then they have to whitelist it again and whatnot, and then it works. Yeah, definitely. Sound data is easier to get through than video data. That's another component. Like, it's really impressive that YouTube actually is able to do this at all with video data. I mean, it's really, really tough because, like, just think about it. If I play it like this, like you see it here in my browser window, the video data, if I do this, the video data changes. Like, if you try to identify what's going on screen, I simply do this, or I make it even smaller like this, and now the video data on the screen changes, and it's really difficult for an AI to differentiate this here. At least for basically a lot of stuff that's uploaded. Then you have to do this really efficient. You can't just take, I don't know, screenshots and compare them. You have to, I don't know, with AI magic mark certain spots in a video and generate a unique code out of it, and then this has to be recognizable again, and then you compare the codes with the codes in your database. That's how this works. But I don't know exactly how YouTube does it. I know though that YouTube paid, I think, $120 million investment to get this technology done, that it works with video. Sound is easier though, because sound doesn't change so much. Of course, you can change the sound. You can pitch it a bit down, you can pitch it a bit up, you can play it a bit faster, a bit slower, and then probably some stuff will also have trouble recognizing it. But I mean, I could just mirror the video material, and YouTube, the stuff won't recognize it anymore. If it's the video stuff, it's really, really difficult to do this. Really impressive though that it can do it. And sadly, in Europe, people decided to say, hey, do you know this annoying YouTube upload filters that we have? Let's have them on all big platforms. That will be fun. Really curious how this works. I hope I think Poland did a lawsuit on the European law layer against this directive. And if they are successful, then maybe it can be prevented. But so far, multiple countries started to implementing this copyright directive, Germany too, and I don't know, there's some good stuff, there's also some bad stuff in it. In the end, it's a very, very bad idea and a very bad implementation, if you ask me. Really curious how this will also impact YouTube and advertisement, uploading stuff. I mean, I usually, I use film screenshots in my videos a lot. Yeah, that's true. And that, even considering that they also have like a very far-right government, a lot of trouble there. But yeah, it's really good that they at least started. I hope that the European court will do something against it, because it's just such a stupid rule. It's just, you have no idea how stupid it is. It's badly implemented. I also can't say what. It's not like, oh yeah, that. Well, I don't know. But there might be something that they did. Probably overshadowed by a lot of other things going on in the news right now. But really curious how they will. Oh yeah, I also forgot about this game. I was never into these Samurai Warriors and Dynasty Warrior and so on games. That's a different note. Yeah, I'm really curious. When it comes to artwork right now, I already announced it. I have the permission of Ted Nemsmith to use his artworks, which covers quite a lot. And I have Kimberly 80, and I have, at least in parts, Sara Morello and Laura Talton, even though she doesn't have so much, not that much artwork, but at least a little bit. Who else do I have? Nyati, of course, but she only has like one that I used for the two trees. But she was the first one who gave me permission, so I'm forever grateful for that. And with this, especially with Kimberly 80's stuff, and now Ted Nemsmith's stuff from his page, I have like quite a big archive of things that I can use. There's also a German artist who does really, really cool art. Maybe should contact her too to get permission. And with this, even though if at some point I'm not allowed to use the film screenshots anymore, which would be sad in my opinion, I would still have access to enough artwork by now that I can compensate, so I can use something. And most of the stuff I use are just quotes, small snippets from the books. It's under quotation right, and I don't know. Yeah, I can see this. He definitely has a very bright style. I know what you mean, but that's pretty cool. Also have another dude. I forgot his name though. I think he works for some gaming company. He does also some Tolkien artworks, usually from the First Age. I also have his permission to use his stuff too. I forgot his name though, out of my head. Let me see if I can find it out really quick. It was also a surprise to me that he allowed me to use his stuff. Yes, Summer Pudding is his art station thing. He's really a sick artist. His stuff looks really, really cool. And I'm actually allowed to use it. I still can't believe it, to be honest. But really, really sick stuff that he is doing. Can post it in chat. Yeah, really impressive stuff. So with all of this, I have enough, or not enough, but quite an arsenal when it comes to showing footage. I still have the games I can use. It's usually not a big problem, at least when I credit the games. I feel like I'm not too worried because I really try that I'm on the safe side and I don't get into trouble here using artworks and monetizing my videos. So yeah, I don't worry too much about it, but it's definitely a complicated matter though. That can screw some people over. I avoid music in all my videos, so I'm totally on the safe side. I only have my voice that has to carry my videos. That works relatively well, I guess, but of course some people would prefer if I have some music or so in the background. There's some free music. I know that some people also contacted like musicians, but it's so complicated. Music rights are really complicated. Maybe you have an idea, but sometimes even if you have permission of the artist, you still can get into trouble because the licensing and the rights for music are just so widely spread. And it's really complicated. I would say it's less complicated for film for whatever reason. I don't know why that is though. For example, if you get a license to play music, like if you own like, I don't know, a restaurant or a club or whatever, and you have the license to play music there, it's not allowed. That is not the license you need if you want to mix it into a video. So say, I pay a lot of money to play it here in my, I don't know, restaurant, club, or whatever. And why shouldn't I not? You need so-called, what's the term for it? Synchronization rights. So you basically need a special right, a special license that allows you to put music or mix, to not just play the music, but combine the music with another medium, in this case, video. That's an extra license. And depending on the artist, and depending on the range that you like, if I publish something on YouTube, it often can be that I publish globally. I of course don't have the views for like 10 million views or so, but like let's say I would use music in my Sauron video, which has around 2 million views, and I would use like I wanted to use like a pop song or so by some big name, I don't know, whoever. I think just getting the rights for it to do so, I think just for one song it could cost like thousands of dollars. Even for some, let's call it no-name artist who makes like a cool little song and publishes it on some sites. You sometimes, if you really need a big license, you pay like $100 or so, or $200 for one song. It can be this expensive. It's really messy, depending on what level of rights you need, how many people will see it, and so on. It's a really complicated thing. So I guess it's far easier to simply not use the music of people. That makes things much, much easier, I feel. Or less expensive, let's put it that way. But yeah, music rights. A terrible, terrible thing. Even if it's just released on a site by the artist. That's the weirdest thing. Like, if you, for example, in Germany we have, I'm not sure what the English term for it is. In German it's Verwertungsgesellschaft. What does it mean in English? Let me check. So-called GEMA. Maybe you have heard about this. That is basically an organization that handles licenses of, it's a copyright collective. That's the translation of Wikipedia. A copyright collective. So it's basically an organization that collectively, where artists have basically to become members, and then they work with the rights and see that if somebody needs a license, they collect the money and they direct it to the artist. If you in this, weirdly enough, if you in this collective, you as an artist yourself, someone could need a license for your own music. Is that complicated? It really is that complicated. You can't just grant somebody the rights. People then have to go over this collective if they want your rights. It makes stuff really, really complicated at times. There's situations where, I don't know, artists publish their stuff on their own channel and they get claimed for their own music and say, okay, that shouldn't be right. I assume it's not right, but it just shows how complicated stuff is. And Germany is a pretty, in my opinion, some would disagree, I guess, but has pretty strong copyright rights for companies and artists and so on, especially when it comes to music. Yeah, it's really confusing. I mean, the idea basically is not bad. Like, just imagine you sometimes don't always know what happens on your screen or so, or what music will appear, and just finding out where every artist of the music you want to use lives and contact him and negotiate a license with him. You just have one place you can go and say, okay, he's in this collective. I just ask the collective and they give me the rights and I pay them and everything is done. Makes things, of course, a lot easier, but there can happen some weird stuff. With music, you have the labels that have rights. Then maybe you have also artists that made the music with you. I'm not sure what the English term for it is, but that is a so-called Leistungsschutzrecht. That also have to be considered. There's just so much. Let me see. What is it called in English? Related rights or something like this. Neighboring rights. I don't know. It's complicated stuff. But you also have to consider this. So that usually brings you in a lot of trouble if you use stuff on YouTube. And it's not YouTube doing stuff on YouTube, and maybe now Twitch also has a lot of flag for copyright and DMCA and stuff recently. Got a lot of flag for it. And because it became bigger and bigger, and now it's more on the focus of those companies. In the past, they were just ignored, but now people know, oh, this Twitch platform, there are a lot of people using our music and streaming internationally. Do they have the rights for that? That, of course, becomes a huge, huge problem. And that makes things so complicated. On YouTube, you basically work around. Like, usually nobody is watching your video and is manually DMCAing you, at least when you're not really, really big. Like, of course, if one of the really, really big streamers would use music and he has not the rights for it in his stream, he, of course, could get into trouble. But sometimes, especially if it's good marketing, usually he can probably negotiate something. And I think the bigger YouTubers usually never basically do this because it's far too risky. and they probably have the financial resources and connection and reach and numbers to justify like a partnership or to request one. Maybe they can get a license for free basically if they advertise the stuff. Stuff like this is definitely possible at some level. Yeah, Twitch did not want to deal with it. Left it to the last minute to actually do something. Yeah, definitely. That is yeah, a huge problem. The end of the day, it just is about money. I can understand it, but it's really complicated. Like even live streaming, you could get a radio license, but you would not be allowed to use it stuff in stream because you stream. You don't transfer the audio only, but you also mix it with video. And in that case, you're already leaving the territory of your license. I also forgot where I just the point I just wanted to make. Good old music stuff. If you want to invest millions and millions into rather than deal with them, yeah, Google had to. Basically, Google, the lawmakers now cemented the status quo, especially in Europe with the copyright directive. So right now, basically they say, yeah, do what Google does. If you have a certain, but you have to get the licenses, and that is also complicated. You have to, I don't know what it is. It's, in my opinion, it's not really cool. However, there is now, at least in the copyright, in the German copyright thing, in the law, in the actual law, there is like a little snippet where you can use like 15 seconds of video and I think also music if you don't use it, if you don't make money with it. And then it doesn't count. It's basically fair use, basically, with this. We have like now a weird fair use version of it for non-commercial use though, which is kind of great, and that is basically there to make memes and so on not illegal all of a sudden. Because that's also not on the focus of the companies, interestingly, even though they don't like this idea either. But at least that is in the German law. However, every country, it's a directive, so every country in Europe that is part of the European Union has to do its own law out of this directive. So, and how strict countries interpret this directive is totally different. So we have now a lot of different copyright laws, and yeah, it's not unified in Europe. That's fantastic. But yeah, upload filters are coming though. Yeah, that would just give a lot of backlash. That's why they try to avoid it. The weirdest thing about it is, though, there's a really complicated little part here, and I don't fully get it. I think that is flat out illegal, in my opinion. If you, as a small copyright holder, are not part of one of those collectives in Germany I just mentioned, there is a collective for music, a copyright collective. There's a collective for pictures, for video, film, TV, whatever. For books and so on, also for the written word. Every different form has basically its own organization, its own copyright collective. And you can't also enter every copyright collective as a normal person just by snipping, just by mailing them or so. Sometimes there are requirements, for example, I think for the video or stuff, I think it's mainly about TV stuff. So we have to do TV to actually get a member there. However, if I'm not a member, what happens if somebody violates my copyright? If I'm not a member of that in this copyright collective, then if I don't revoke the right for them, even though I'm not a member and I don't get any money from them, they can give a license for my copyrighted work and get money for it. In my opinion, that is just the stupidest thing I've ever heard. So I'm not, for example, I'm a musician, and I'm not in this copyright collective called GEMA. Then the GEMA, if I don't say no, the GEMA can't basically give the license to other people of my music, but I have to actively say no to them, else they can actually do that. And that means they give a license out, they get money for the license of my work I did, of my intellectual property, but since I'm not a member, they can't give the money to me, I think. This is not really well done in the law. It's actually that stupid. It also shows how just unnecessarily complicated everything is here, but it's really terrible. I'm still, yeah, not happy. I hope Poland gets through with their lawsuit and we get rid of this stupid thing. Yeah, so basically, usually, so that this copyright collective can. Wait, is administer a word? Verwalten. Oh no, it's difficult to explain in English. Maintain, manage. That's the word. So so that they can manage the copyright stuff. Okay, that you mean. Okay. Maybe I thought I just explained it wrong. I always looked for the word manage in my mind. But yeah, it's just, I also don't understand it. It's stupid. It really is. So if somebody takes a snippet out of my video that violates my copyright, because I'm a copyright owner, if that makes sense. Like the stuff I say in my videos and so on, that is my voice. I have naturally the copyright for that. That's my creative, my intellectual property. But for whatever reason, even if I write an article or so, a copyright collective can handle my works, even though I'm not a member of it. It makes no sense. Like, that makes me actually angry, just hearing this. It's just so stupid. I don't fully understand why that is. What the sense is. Also, like, there was like, there's a lawyer that has a YouTube channel, and he went through the draft of the law texts, and also shook his head. And so I don't know what this means. Probably courts or lawsuits will have to set precedents for this because the text is not clear enough. Yeah, that's. I mean, I have a very weird idea of copyright anyway. In my opinion, what people should do instead, and that's definitely a complicated manner and make a lot of people not happy. But in my opinion, if you publish intellectual property, it is the most human thing that it becomes part of the people who consume it, of people who read it, who see it, who hear it. Like if I hear a song which I like, it becomes a part of myself, I can't undo this process. It's simply how information is transferred and how we work as humans. So, and it's only natural, in my opinion, to work with your experiences. So if you hear a song, if you listen, or if you read a book or so, some people, like Gilgar, for example, who writes his own stories, and maybe, I'm not sure if he writes fan fiction too, probably not, but some people just write, I don't know, Tolkien fan fiction. And it's just a normal thing. You read a book, you like it, and you start thinking about your own adventures in this world because you like it so much. Even though that is, in theory, a copyright violation or a violation of intellectual property and potentially trademarks and whatnot. But it's just the most human thing to do, in my opinion. But of course, I think the copyright is important in that regard, that it's there, so nobody can come and say, no, that is my work, and the original copyright or the original creator basically gets screwed over. That's what that's what the copyright is for. It's to protect the creator and his work, and he shall be able to sell it and make some money with it and be protected. It's his work and nobody can claim it for themselves, even though it's not their work. It works in the end because they can afford the better lawyers or so. Yeah, that's actually true. That Gandalf's name is Gandalf from the Edda. That's actually right. Maybe Tolkien's a bad example. Let's say Star Wars. Probably there are also names from actual history or whatever. Yeah, but you can't. My point is, you read stuff, you learn it, and you develop it. Like we had this on the Discord. Everything is a remix. Like, and I agree with that. Every author is inspired by someone or has some elements that would not be possible if he would not have read that book, not have heard that story, not have heard that music, and so on. There may be some exceptions to this, and sometimes people truly create something truly new and unusual, but I guess it's rare these days. And I think transformative work also needs to be protected and needs to be possible. I don't like the idea that this natural process of transforming existing knowledge into something new is prevented or blocked because people decide to do things. People basically don't give licenses out and say, no, you can't do something with it, or you have to pay a lot of money or whatever. I think that's like blocking this option is kind of weird, at least on some level. I think that should be better protected, especially when it comes to things like, especially when it comes to press, like reviews, like reception, like discussing something and using material for it. I think that's like videos on the web is, I guess, a very important form of reception, of discussing media that we have. And it's really weird that I can't make a film review showing actual or analysis of a film, showing actual footage of the film, because I have to fear that people sue me because I do so, or that my video gets claimed all the time. That, in my opinion, should not be possible. I think it's one real late film review. Yeah. Exactly. I mean, I can write it down and that would probably work, but as soon as I use, when I make a video, things become more complicated. That should not be the case. And one big problem here is that there's a lot of abuse or automation here, which I know, of course, algorithm can't recognize or differentiate fair use cases because fair use cases have to be decided individually. It's a complicated thing to actually do this, and a machine can't do that. Same with quotation. When is something a quotation? When not? When is something satire? When is something, I don't know, a critique? When is something a blatant copy? It's really difficult to differentiate those. I think that abuse should be punished much, much harder, so that companies are far more careful with this. And that also, like in the United States, fair use, or the idea of it also includes how much damage does it, or how much harm does it do. Does actually people lose money or fortune when I do my video, my review, and like I do a review of a film? Will people not watch the film because I use so many film snippets in the review that I basically showed the whole film? And if you watch my review, you don't need to watch the film anymore. Nobody does this, but that's of course a concern. But I feel like stuff like this should be decided very individually and not by an algorithm. Simply can't work. It's just putting everyone under the suspicion that he does upload things against the law, and everyone has potentially to be filtered And of course, nobody wants this so-called overblocking, but that's exactly what happens. And that was one of the points I tried to make earlier. As a YouTube creator, I build often videos where I know there is material that I actually should be allowed to use, but probably could get claimed. Is me learning how to build my videos around the algorithm or around the content ID system so it doesn't trigger. So I know, okay, if I just cut every time around the 10 to 15 second mark, and if here could be copyrighted music in it, even though I should be able to use it, I just mute the video here and maybe use different music, and then suddenly I don't get claimed. Even though I have to actually change the original composition of the material a lot to achieve this. But that's basically what we became living under those stupid upload filters. This content ID system. You learn how to work around it. And that, in my opinion, is just not cool. We should be just able to use stuff. I'm actually not sure how it is with screenshots of films. I think that's that's at least a fair usage in my opinion, because I don't want to show the whole film. I don't want to show the music, the dialogue or whatever. I just want to show the screen and talk about it. Some copyright changes, would it affect previous videos uploaded before the changes were applied? That's a good question. I think yes, it would. It should not though. But YouTube probably has no way of differentiating. I guess it could, depending on upload date or so. I think also the new copyright directive, at least it was promised that it does not affect videos. It's not backwards compatible. So when the new rules for the directive apply, that all the videos get suddenly claimed because of changes. But I assume that could happen though. Yeah, they usually got the date, time of everything. But it's really, really complicated. I remember that back in the day when YouTube was much, much younger, like around 2009, 8, or maybe 2010, let's say around 2010, that a lot of gaming, especially Japanese gaming companies, just sent out DMCA strikes to people who used trailer footage for their games or dared to use footage in their videos of their games. It got a lot better in the past decade, I have to admit, but it was really, really annoying back in the day. I heard a lot of YouTubers from that time complaining about this. Yeah. Also, a lot of pages, a lot of home pages of publishers. You have like a little terms of service section that says, okay, for the YouTube and the YouTube Partner Program, you're allowed to use footage for transformative works or something like this. Like Capcom, for example, updated their stuff recently. So yeah, for Capcom stuff, you're not allowed to upload a Let's Play that is not commented. You have to comment at least. Then you can upload it though for all Capcom games. So that's like the YouTube channel. What is it called? World of Long Plays or so. And it's just the gameplay, and he doesn't comment on it. And that can be nice, just watching how somebody plays games that are probably too difficult for you or whatever, that you don't like to play but find weirdly interesting, or interested in the story but don't like the gameplay. A ton of reason, just want to basically enjoy that. And a lot of people do that. That's totally fine, but I think in theory, at least, that would be not allowed under the new terms of service of Capcom right now. I'm not sure how they will handle it though. Really curious if there would be some changes. Still surprised that just seeing here Apex Legends running on the Switch, it just blows my mind. I mean, it's not really mind-blowing if I'm honest, because I for a long time I also had a very old computer and couldn't afford to upgrade it. And I I managed also to optimize games a lot so they could run on it. So you can, with a little bit of optimization and tweaking, you can actually achieve quite a lot in some games at least. And that's probably also what happens here. I mean, also Witcher runs on the Switch. But yeah, I agree. I hope it will get better in the future. I'm not too optimistic about it. I hope that at some point people sit together and think about a very smart copyright law. Crazy how much power that is actually true. I also have a Switch. Yeah, it's true. And for a handheld, it's really nice. Even though a lot of people are wanting a Switch Pro or something, so a more powerful Switch. And I can totally see that, but I think Nintendo also already announced that there won't be one anytime soon. And that's a cool thing about Nintendo, in my opinion. Nintendo doesn't really need a more powerful Switch. The games they do and they excel at, they simply work on the Switch. I would make optimizing games annoying for streaming. Exactly. I guess that could be a problem for the... That's actually a situation for the PlayStation 4 with the PlayStation 4 Pro, the PlayStation... It's also, no, the Xbox One X and Xbox One S and the normal Xbox and so on. Yeah, I'm also not sure how different the light is, to be honest. I just heard that the analog sticks are better on the light. Is also the digipad better? I'm not sure. I also bought a Switch some time ago. Play a bit of Mario Maker on it and sometimes some older games. I want to play Bayonetta 2 at some point. Maybe we could play on stream at some point Breath of the Wild. That would be kind of cool, I guess. We could also play this one here. Yeah, it's actually pretty late. I streamed much longer than I wanted, so I'm happy you enjoyed it. Thank you for staying here. I will also shut down the stream now, I guess. That's probably a smart idea still. I want to go to sleep and do some stuff tomorrow. Get something done. So thank you for watching. Thank you for staying, Kierdan. It was nice having you here. Much appreciated. Shoutouts to all other people lurking in the background or watching. See you next time and good night.